Hey everybody, this short tutorial will describe how to use the Notes field in WBS Schedule Pro. The Notes field allows you to add an extensive amount of text associated with a task, as opposed to the task name, which is generally short. And also, if you're using this with Microsoft Project, you are limited to about 255, 256 characters. WBS Schedule Pro by itself doesn't have those limits, but ordinarily you'll want to use short description for your tasks and lengthy description for your notes. So as we saw here, to get to the notes field, a quick way to do that is to double click on a task and choose the notes field. And with the notes field, you can have multiple lines of text. I can edit it. I can add more text as much as I want. That's one way to see the notes field, by double clicking on a task, but that's kind of hidden. There's an easier way to see notes, and that's by using the notes pane, which is located over here on the left side of your screen. You see the little notes tab here. If I click on that, I can see the notes for each of the tasks in my project. And as I go select all the different tasks, I can see the different notes associated with the tasks. If you don't see the notes pane here, go to your view menu and choose the notes pane right here. Maybe it got hidden or disappeared somehow, but this will put it back. As far as editing notes, you can just click in the notes field, and as we saw before in the task form, just add text as much as you want. When you're done, you can either click on another task or hit the check mark to accept that, hit the arrow to go to the next task or the previous task, and keep entering notes. You can also see notes in the task sheet. So task sheet with notes is the one sheet that comes with the predefined notes field. So you can see that for each task that has notes, the notes field is here. You can also add the notes field to any of the task sheets. So for example, this one doesn't have a notes field, but if I do want to add the notes field, I can simply right click and either insert a column or define the current column. I'll do that and change it from being the constraint date to the notes field. And make sure that if you do add the notes field as a column, that you wrap the text. It looks better wrapped. So from there, I can change the width and modify and add new notes in that field. So back to the WBS chart. One thing I wanted to show you too about the notes pane is it can also be made to float. So instead of having it docked over here on the left-hand side, I can click the notes tab itself and drag it and place it on top of my chart, maybe in the corner, so I can see more of the notes field and more of the chart. And now as I go and toggle between all the different tasks in my project, I can add notes as I see fit. So it's a great way to work with your project and add notes as you need to. To put the notes pane back, you click on the title, put it back down next to the tabs where the views and the task panes are, and it'll pop back into place there and be docked on the left-hand side. All the notes you add here, if you were to transfer this chart to Microsoft Project, would transfer to Microsoft Project, and all the notes you've had in Microsoft Project would also show up here in WBS Schedule Pro. One thing to mention though is that Microsoft Project allows you to do a lot of formatting in its notes. So when you have a Microsoft Project plan with notes and you generate a chart in WBS Schedule Pro, those notes are made read-only because we can't read the formatting. Microsoft Project doesn't allow us to read the formatting. So if you're using WBS Schedule Pro with Microsoft Project, again, you can add notes in WBS Schedule Pro, but once you add your first note, that note becomes read-only simply because you can add formatting in Microsoft Project and we don't have access. WBS Chart Pro, or WBS Schedule Pro, I should say, doesn't have access to that formatting, so it has to remain read-only. To print the notes, you can, the easiest way to print the notes is via a task sheet with the notes field already in place. So if I go back to the task sheet and I preview that, I can see that you can print the notes field in a sheet. I can export the notes field to Excel or to Word as a multiple line text, and you can then reformat and do whatever you need to do in Excel or Word to make the charts much more presentable if they're not already presentable in WBS Schedule Pro. So that's about it for the notes field. Again, click on the tab and add as many notes as you want. So hope that covers the notes field. If you have any other questions, see our website at www.criticaltools.com.